The situation did not seem to be as favorable as Yui had hoped. Just as he said he would arrange everything properly, his subordinates immediately screamed in alarm. "My lord! The sixth city has transmitted an image!" Emperor Crocodile leaned forward, peering through the glass panel to see what image had caused such a panic. Upon seeing the transmitted image, the man was left speechless. On the screen, Ching Chang stood beneath a sky that had just opened into the void. He couldn't tell who had opened this void. Yui, however, immediately recalled a similar phenomenon that had appeared in the sky above the Free Alliance when the elf tribe invaded earlier. Despite this, he did not panic, nor did he say anything to Emperor Crocodile, as the latter would surely recognize it instantly. "It's them! I didn't expect them to arrive this quickly." So, it was all part of their plan. There's no way these events could be happening one after another by coincidence. To make matters worse, intelligence reports came in stating that it was not just the sixth city where the void had appeared, but also the second, third, and fifth cities, all showing the same phenomenon. This led to an urgent question: what about the command city? Just as the thought crossed everyone's minds, they heard the sound of the void opening above them. Shards fell like shattered glass, signaling that the void had opened over every city. However, unlike the others, here the void had been open for a while without any movement. A large, elongated eye stared down from within, motionless, fixed in a piercing gaze. It was eerily similar to the darkness from before. "Are they planning to wipe us out completely?" Yui sensed a powerful aura emanating from the void, and the tension escalated as the intelligence officer continued to shout updates. Both the Huaxia Alliance and the Free Alliance relayed their own reports, which were quickly displayed on the screens. A team of 4 superhumans stood vigilantly beneath the void. Meanwhile, the Huaxia Alliance had only 3 individuals present, one of whom was an incredibly familiar female figure. Who else could it be but Xiao Ling? She craned her neck to look up just in time to witness movement. At first, it was faint, just a slight squelching sound. Then, a massive black mass emerged from the void. "It's falling like sludge!" The superhumans watched, eyes fixed in disbelief. They had expected an elven army. What was this? The thick, black substance plummeted to the ground in a great column, hitting with such weight that the earth trembled, producing a deafening thud. Then, like floodwaters, a vast black tide mixed with streaks of purple spread across the ground, consuming everything in its path. Before anyone could comprehend what it was, the mass began to rise, congealing into a towering form, making gurgling sounds as if something was being kneaded into shape. Moments later, when they looked again, the head had taken shape, a godlike figure clad in a cloak. Its entire body formed from the same viscous, muddy substance that had just fallen. The energy seeping from it was clearly a major threat. Xiao Ling saw it and immediately scowled. The patches of purple within the black mass split open, forming portals through which numerous grotesque and ferocious beasts emerged. Not only did they roar, but they could also speak. "These must be creatures from another planet. Come into Mother's embrace. All of you! Seize them all!" Like a vast pack of prairie wolves, the monstrous beasts surged forward, each selecting a target to devour. Meanwhile, the godlike figure in the cloak hovered in midair, seemingly uninterested in the chaos below. In the sixth city, another similar figure appeared, identical except for slight differences in their cloaks, distinguishing them from each other. He stared intently at the crowd observing him from the city walls. But there was no movement. Ching Chang found himself unable to act, overwhelmed by the sheer power emanating from that being. Sweat involuntarily trickled down his forehead. What kind of creature was this? Suddenly, from behind Ching Chang, a streak of light shot forward at incredible speed. It was a rat. using its own body to ram into the face of one of the approaching beasts near the city walls. Though swift and strong, the gap in power was too vast, it perished immediately upon impact. This swarm of rats was acting under Lin Feng's will. Running up from behind, Lin Feng shouted, "Qing Chang! Focus! A moment of hesitation could get you killed by these beasts. We can't afford to lose focus in this battle." Below the city walls, a vast horde of beasts was advancing, seemingly emboldened by the presence of the godlike entity. The aura of this being resembled that of the creature their leader had faced upon first arriving on this planet. Lin Feng emphasized the significance of remembering their name. These were the gods of this world. This meant they were now confronting the strongest force on this planet. "Qing Chang! Look at the sky!" "Jean," she called out, though it was hardly necessary. The moment the new energy appeared, everyone sensed it. Another black-robed figure emerged, as ominous as ever. Unlike the first, this one bore no facial markings at all. His face was an empty void, giving the impression that his neck had somehow shortened. One god was already difficult to deal with, and now two had appeared at once. However, the newcomer did not join the first one but instead immediately fled in the opposite direction. "What is it doing?" Before they could understand, Lin Yu rushed over in panic. "Everyone! I've just contacted the other cities. Gods are appearing everywhere." The third city, White Tiger City. White Tiger had spread its wings, rising to eye level with the god. Yet, the god made no move. In the Free Alliance, another god appeared, bearing a red mark on its face. It seemed to be waiting for a signal, as it too remained motionless. Meanwhile, thick smoke billowed from the second city. There were no signs of people or beasts. Only a massive black pillar stood, adorned with strange blue circular markings. Deep within the city, the glowing eyes of a monstrous creature flickered. Friend or foe? No one knew, but its bloodthirsty gaze was unmistakable. Hours passed. The fifth city was littered with the corpses of Misty Mountain's beasts. Giant red ants lay dead in swarms. A god stood atop a slanted rock, his cloak billowing in the wind. He scanned the area and muttered, "What a waste! I brought so many beasts, yet there isn't a single strong opponent here." With a wave of his hand, several blue cycles appeared before him, each inscribed with mysterious symbols, similar to the ones used by the gods during their meetings. A pillar of blue light descended in front of him. He raised his hand and began chanting in an unknown language. When the light faded, a triangular object appeared before him, similar to the one in the second city, though different in shape. "Good. Now let's see what the others are up to," he murmured. Just as he was about to act, a pink streak of light struck him squarely in the face, sending him tumbling backward. At this speed, aside from Golden and only Zelen could have managed such an attack. Without hesitation, Zelen delivered a punch straight to the god's face. However, upon closer inspection, the god had already shifted form, his body morphing into a mass of writhing tentacles, like an octopus. One of the tentacles coiled tightly around Zelen's sharp forearm. Though it had caught his strike, the god had to admit this creature was unbelievably fast. "Where are my subordinates? Why didn't they stop you?" the god demanded. "Subordinates? I wasn't paying attention," Zelen replied indifferently, then added, "Maybe they were killed already." Instantly, at that. And the mantis was not lying. Behind him lay a mountain of beast corpses. The beasts that the god had so proudly brought to battle against Earth's creatures, all lay dead, mouths agape in death.